Alright, welcome back YouTube. Today we're working with the another 2012 Isuzu NPR. Got a bunch of strange readings and whatnot as far as the airflow and temperature and whatnot, and decided to take a look inside the EGR valve and EGR cooler. Let me turn on some light here real quick. She's pretty nasty. Been soaking this thing, trying to get it halfway cleaned up. It looked pretty bad inside and was completely plugged. I'd actually have to make you guys another video on this one before I started. Broke my cell phone, so here's where we start off. Skip the first video. This thing simply bolts, not too crazy pulling it off or anything, but it bolts to this. And if this thing does look like it has two EGR coolers, who knows, it might be called something else on here, but this is the first part, and then there's the other part that comes across the motor right here. Here's all your coolant lines for here and there, and then there's another set for there and there. It bolts to the EGR, which goes right here. She got that soaking right now. Trying to get this all cleaned up. That's a good shot of it. But not everything was functioning correctly, so I'm just going to try to tear into this thing, get it all cleaned back up. This did go on right here like so. And then the EGR cooler went right across the top of the motor and then connected right there. Pretty simple, one plug there. And honestly about 6 bolts if I remember right, going up to that. There's one piece right here, and this connects the EGR valve, the 2-hole side, to the 4-bolt side right here. Not necessarily too bad, but yeah, some of the readings and whatnot were pretty far off, so we're going to try to clean this up, see if we can't get this thing running halfway decent again. Bear with me, and I'm going to get the other side off, whatnot, get it soaking and cleaning, give it the best cleaning I can. I know these things are pretty darn expensive, so if you can clean it and it's not damaged, go for it. Alright, back at it. Round 2. We got this EGR cooler over here off this, and it goes across the motor right here. And these are all EGR cooler for the antifreeze lines right here, right here, right here, and right here. Seems to be a dual EGR cooler. We've got everything cleaned out kind of with a wire brush and blew it out, and stuck a magnet down in there. If you got a plastic brush, that's probably a better idea on this, but like I said, I used a magnet, blew mine out royal. I didn't want anything in there. On the other end, the other aspect of it, this is the one that goes across the motor, and I believe it sits like that actually. And then this one connects to it right here. Well, just like that. We've got all new gaskets. We got up in this too, cleaned everything out. Did soak it for about 4 days, and looking good. These are looking a lot better inside. Definitely can see light through them now. A lot cleaner, a lot better. We're gonna go ahead and start putting this back together. Here's the EGR valve, and we're gonna test that. I actually cleaned out the inside of that as well. And then the little end piece for this with the sensor in it and everything. We cleaned up the sensor, cleaned up everything, all the edges, all the surface mounts. I'm gonna go ahead and start popping this back together. See what we get for readings as soon as we fire it up. Everything's ready to go back together. Bear with me, and I'll get it back on. All right, we just got the secondary EGR cooler. There's 4 bolts, one there, one there, one there, and these are 12mm heads, by the way. And then there's one more down below this one right here, and you can get to it, access it through the front side over here. Same with that one. So 4 bolts, And you got 2 bolts right there in the center of the screen, and then 1 long bolt through that guy right there, and the rest of these are 12s. Those I believe 14 mil. We're gonna work our way through now. Everything looks lined up. Let's give it a go. All right, next step, we got the upper EGR cooler mounted. All right, now I forgot to mention, there is a little cover plate with 4 10mm bolts. There, and there. 10 mil, not real tight, but you do have to take this off to access the 4 that hold on the EGR cooler. We just put our EGR cooler on the upper side. Now these right here, I'm going to show you later. This is the way you can crack that open, get the air out of the radiator system. Go around the other side of this guy right here. And we're all set up over here. We're going to simply put a couple bolts in. Just set our gasket on there. Get it ready to remount the other side of it. It goes right here down to this, but we're going to clean all that up a little bit better first. Simply get it all put together. Bear with me a minute. And yeah, make sure you put your clamps back on there and there for this upper one. And yeah, you got this, man. It ain't that bad. All right, here we go. We got our EGR valve, the double side, all cleaned up. We'll go down. Get our new gaskets on. This thing simply goes in place right here. And with the elbow, kind of the fancy fitting, it connects to that. New gasket on top, new gasket there, 2 new gaskets there. All right, got our EGR mounted. Forgive me, this is a 1-piece, but dual hole gasket under there. Got our other gaskets going right there. And then this last one will go right here. I did end up getting a gasket kit for this thing. Just the whole EGR kit, and we're gonna make that work. All the part numbers I already threw away. Sorry fellas, I did that. All right, now to tell you a little magic trick as well. You're gonna have to tighten down the EGR, but leave all these bolts loose, and there's one more 14 mil right there behind my fingertip that comes in from back here, and it's right there. Now you can see it. That's it right there. Okay, I left all these loose. There's 8 of them that hold the EGR cooler, 6 of them for this little neck here to the EGR, 4 of them that mount the EGR, 2 in back, 2 on top, and then you got your 1 plug right here, which goes to this, and the sensor plugs into that one. Bear with me, I'm gonna snug all this up. I'm not gonna mention torque because honestly, every time I do, somebody argues with me. So I'll let you do your own research on Google. You can pull it right up. Pick your poison. Don't pick on me. Alright, now simply putting the intercooler piping back on. You got a clamp down here. Slides right on. Back side of this is a 12mm bolt. Nut, whatever. Nut. Alright, now under there anyway. Then you got 1 piece left to attach into the throttle body here. I've already got that cleaned up inside as well. Everything mounted, torqued. Like I said, you pick your poison on the torque. Every time I put something on there, I get argued with. Have a field day. Look what you want. Pick your poison. Okay, we're gonna stick this last intercooler piping on here, and should be a wrap. All right, voila. Clamp there. Clamp there, everything's snug. Twister, make sure she ain't squished or oblong shaped anywhere. I normally put like a finger of grease on the inside of these, make everything twist on, go on easier. Like I said, everything's good to go, put back together. We are gonna go ahead and top feed the hole here to fill the radiator system. Take your radiator cap off. And honestly, you'll know all the air is out this way. And I'll go ahead and make a short piece of video on that for you too. All right, last piece. simply pulled these two plugs. They are 22 millimeters, snorked on pretty good. They go to the water jackets. Basically, I filled the radiator up top and used the proper antifreeze. I like using green in mine, to be honest, 50-50. Okay, and basically fill that up, and then last but least, slowly fill those till you got all the air out. We'll test run it, but yeah, that'd be simple cleaning of the EGR coolers and rebolting everything back together. Our sensor here connected back there, EGR valve controls right here, those two plugs. There is one bolt hidden under here. You can kind of see the top of it, 14 mil. The 4 on that, the 2 on that, and the 4 on the EGR mounting to the intake pieces. Your intake tube to the cooler setup, whatever you want to call it. Bear with me. And then this EGR setup, same thing, 2 here and 2 below. This shield, which is all 10 millimeter bolts, 4 of them, has to be removed to access it. 1 bolt there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then there's the lower one, and 1 there, and 1 directly below that down there. You got 4 here. This one's extra long, and then 2 mounting the mounts of the block as well. A set of cooling lines here, 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 and here, and then these 2 bolts mount the brackets that hold the whole system. That topper off and you're ready to go, man. Should be a lot better numbers on everything, a lot better flow. Thanks for watching.